I'm in the A. It's a good time. I'm getting a lot done. I'm being productive, and I got my guy, WhatupRG. Stay tuned.
Shot the camera. Is that on?
Yo, what's going on? It's Ruslan with KingsDreamENT.com, encouraging, empowering, inspiring you to live out God's dream. And I got a very special guest here. Before we get into RG, shout out to all the Patreons supporting the channel, all that good stuff. I don't thank you guys enough. But I'm here in Atlanta with, I'd say, one of the most prolific, I think it's a fair word. He's getting a lot of music out. He's progressive in the way he's challenging the culture. And he's freaking dope, man. Without any further ado, WhatupRG? What's up, bro?
I'm here.
You here?
Man, I've been watching your videos consistently for a minute.
I don't believe you because you
I'm
totally
just so happy.
you totally bombed the intro with the way the video dropped. And you shot the camera not knowing that I'm using a video switcher.
I'm sorry.
It's all good though. But I'm you watch my videos? Phil?
I will say I watched the clips you put up, and
on Instagram.
And I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like, how?
I barely put up any clips.
You're
on
so
Instagram.
good. You're very good.
Really?
You're good at this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think you're also good at what you do. 2 EPs within, 9 months of each other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. May and then March.
Yeah. Within 9 months of each other.
Yeah.
Both very good. Both very creative. I had heard, I feel like, a lot of the first one before it came out because you kind of had those records. I remember you was performing those 6 months out before the record. And then, but this Raul record, man, like from the rollout to the branding to the depth of the content was like, I think, a staple in the CHH community. And I think, honestly, one of the most vulnerable hip hop albums I've heard, like the topics you're willing to talk about.
Yeah.
How is that journey? How's the journey been, bro? Like, how's it been releasing such vulnerable art?
Yeah. I think from the jump, I've always seen vulnerability differently than people do. I always see it as like a superpower. Whereas people usually like, yo, this is like, you know, this is what I'm going through. Let me just keep it low key. Like, I think vulnerability, if anything, it allows you to connect to people you would never connect with unless you were open about the stuff you're going through.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been hard. For me, what it was is more so embracing who I was.
Okay.
To be able to tell the story. Because when I came in the building and Reach, I was like, yo, I'm not going to be the Latin artist.
Now you don't want to be the reggaeton.
Yeah, I was
artist?
like, yo, I do not
They
want
got
to
Gavi with the EDM, and now they got RG with the reggaeton.
I was like very adamant about it. Like, yo, I'm not going to be whatever. I'm going to make what I want to make.
Diversity quota.
And, but it took me, like, I went on tour with Andy and Cray, like in September. And we, I was out in Texas and Cali, and then I saw how much just people seeing somebody that looked like them meant to them, and how much it did for them.
Okay.
Like parents coming up to me like, you don't understand how much having you means to me.
Yeah.
Like tears in their eyes.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, I get it. It's not about a gimmick. It's about being yourself.
Right.
Like, I can't change the fact that I'm Mexican and my dad got deported when I was 16.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a gimmick. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
You know, it's my life.
Yeah.
So instead of me like, yo, I'm not going to be that guy. It's like, no, this is who I am. And I think that's the most valuable thing we have as artists. Our identity and our story.
I love it. I love that fearlessness, bro. And I love you embracing that and not overthinking it, not being like, are people going to think I'm finessing my own you know what I'm saying? Like you went all in, and I appreciate that. One of the things my wife always reminds me and encourages me is be vulnerable, but not intimate. And she says vulnerable is when you can reflect in hindsight. You could be personable. You could be transparent. Intimate is when you're sharing like the most personal details about you right now in this moment. You know what I'm saying? And I think what's cool about that story is you're sharing a story that you've lived through. And obviously it's still real to you because your dad's still not here, but it's not the struggle you're having right now in this moment that you still need answers on. You're still trying to find God on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's vulnerable in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? But the emotions are real.
Yeah.
How has that been for you and your family? Like talk about, you talk about it in the art, but I think people really haven't heard you talk about it outside of the art, outside of the music. Like how has that really been? You're 16. Your mom and your dad were married for how long? Are married, excuse me.
I mean,
are married.
Yeah. 23 years probably.
23 years.
Yeah.
And how long was your dad here in America?
Bro, he was here longer than he was out in Mexico. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So your dad,
he went back to Mexico like not knowing what was going on out there. Like,
sheesh.
He's just been out here, you know.
You and your brother are both born here. Your dad and your mom has her green card or citizenship?
Yeah, she's a resident.
She's a resident. Yeah.
Working towards the citizenship.
Yeah.
It took 20 years to get that too.
Yeah. My mom is technically a resident. My mom's not a citizen. I'm a citizen, but my mother's not a citizen.
Yeah.
So, and I remember my green card expiring. People may not know I'm an immigrant. My green card expired at one point, and we lost it. Damn. And we were petrified. I was scared because I was like, what they gonna do? Yeah, like technically,
yeah.
Dang, I can't. I just admitted to being illegal at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know how we worked it out, but somehow we maneuvered around it, and I ended up just kind of bypassing having to renew my green card and going right after my citizenship. Right. And I failed my citizenship test.
Yeah.
Because they asked me like, who's the 7th president? I was like, John Adams? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, bro, you're American. Like, just go. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
So I personally relate to the story. So your mom and dad married 22 years. Your dad's here in America longer than he's been in Mexico. So how did that happen? Like, how does somebody that's been here for 20 years, has 2 kids that live here, like get sent back? That seems like just a goofy loophole in the law. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. No, it was tough. It was for me it was more so like I didn't realize how messed up America was. And I didn't realize how much religion played a part in that. And so for me, when my dad got deported, all I knew about my dad wasn't, he's an immigrant. And all I knew about my dad was, this man goes to work 6 a.m., comes home, spends time with his family, dips to go serve at church, drive the church van. Any opportunity my parents got to serve, they're in church, like serving. I spent most of my formative years just at church.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to, but because my parents.
I've seen the pictures.
Man. Not because I wanted to, but because my parents were like, any chance you got, you're serving God. And for me to, come home and like, my mom's like, Dad's not coming home today. Like, damn. They took him. It's like, all I've known is, my parents serving God faithfully. Yeah. And then God just allows, like, the wackest thing to happen to us. Yeah. And so it threw me in this, like...
Probably a bit of a faith crisis, I would assume.
Faith crisis. I mean, I was 16. Like, you're 16, you're trying to, like, figure yourself out. Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out everything my life is based around. Right.
That's heavy. How old is your little brother at this point?
6.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. My son is about to be 5 in November. I couldn't imagine as a father being ripped out of his life, and I couldn't imagine him growing up without me.
It's insane, bro. I don't think about it as much as as much as people think I do.
Yeah.
Just because I already kind of go through like the motions and like try not to dwell on it, but on 4 a.m. where I'm like, I'd say like, daddy turn around, said farewell, mama crying on the stairwell, little brother go look out the window, why daddy got handcuffs on? That's a real like, that's literally how it happened. My mom's on the stairwell like crying, cops taking my dad out. My brother runs upstairs to look out the window, and they see they're like putting handcuffs on my dad.
Damn.
You know, it's like I can't imagine what he's gone through, and that's why I kind of make it a point for myself to like be present.
Wait, I can't keep you in check, so tell your mama about the tattoos up to your neck. Go wear a collar if it goes with the burgundy kids, and tell your father that your night out wasn't the best from what I see via text. I can't keep you in check, so tell your mama about the tattoos up to your neck.